They're very brave, I'm telling you, all three of you. And why don't you guys, I'm just going to let you tell the story. Who would want to start?
I'll start, I guess. I'm Sean Smith. I'm a citizen and a veteran. I'm from Colorado. And I've got a lot of questions for our election officials. But they don't like questions. They refuse to answer the questions. In fact, we have a Secretary of State who is drunk with power, who makes decrees like the kind that no third-party election audits are permissible in the state. She makes them emergency decrees, and when we query her in accordance with state law, Colorado Open Records Act, for the basis of her declarations that they're forbidden, she refuses to answer in violation of the state law. We had over 1,000 citizens submit comments to her hearing, which she refused to separate from the general rules hearing. They had 3 hours of citizen testimony, cut it off. There were still 50, 60 citizens waiting that entire 3-hour period. She canceled the next session where they were supposed to hear the rest of those hearings and just proceeds with the hearings. Our Secretary of State is lawless, and at every turn she appears to be attempting to prevent citizens from determining what is true in Colorado elections. There are elections. Everything that can be destroyed by the truth should be destroyed by the truth. Mm-hmm. And Jena Griswald is in between citizens in Colorado and the truth.
That's right. Thanks, Tom. Colorado is not lawless. We, the people, have had enough there, and we have found one elected official who's willing to stand up to the state and do what the people are asking, and that is to protect our vote. And so our clerk of Mesa County is here with us today because she took that on and took it serious. She was not a politician. She was a business owner, and her job was to defend our vote. And that's why she's here tonight. So I want to just encourage you guys to hear for just a minute what's happened in Mesa County. This has been a light of the state. We've come under incredible duress due to Jared Polis, who is the governor of Colorado, and the overreaching, overbearing Jena Griswald, Secretary of State. She is punishing us. She's weaponizing her office against an elected official who is doing exactly what we elected her to do, and that is protect us. So please help me welcome my friend and an amazing patriot who is doing exactly what she should be doing in protecting and defending the vote. Clerk and Recorder Tina Peters. Thank you.
When I started having citizens come to me and tell me that something didn't seem right in our local city council elections, something didn't seem right in our county from years ago to the 2020 election, and they wanted answers. And I said, you know what, if there's a there, we'll find it. And I've made that pledge to the citizens of Mesa County and all over Colorado that the people elected me, not the Secretary of State. She has come into my office several times already in the last 2 years since I've been the elected official, because I am a Republican, I'm a conservative, and she's not. And she weaponizes her position to attack people that disagree with her. And so my son, who was a Navy SEAL for 9 years, a lot of that blood runs through our veins. Tragically, I lost him 4 years ago in a very tragic accident on duty. And but you know what? When you're a cancer survivor and you've gone through losing a 27-year-old son, there's not much people can do to you. Right? So when the people came to me and they said, can you help us? Can you help us find something? And I said, if you bring the information to me, I'll look at it. And I think that's what we all should do, right? Don't just turn a blind eye and say, well, you know, I believe this or I believe that, but really look at it. And because of that, I've been persecuted. They've tried to take over my elections office because Mesa County election Mesa County is on the western slope of Colorado, and we are the last bastion of freedom in Colorado. So we would be a big jewel in our governor and our Secretary of State's crown to take over my office and control the way you vote. How do you like that?
At least the outcome of that vote, right, Dr. Frank? Yes.
So we have listened. I've listened to people. They send me things all over, and I've looked at it objectively. And there's some discrepancies there that I cannot deny. And I tell people, I say, I can't unsee some of these things. If I'm going to be honest with the people in Mesa County and in Colorado and with all of you, I cannot unsee some of these things. So I'm willing to put myself out there. I've been attacked, slandered, everything the media can do to me. Just yesterday, I got an order from the Secretary of State that she was going to invade my elections department today. And guess what? When I was on a plane to come see you kind folks and to talk to you out there, guess what they did? They provided a search warrant and raided my office. We don't know what they were doing in there, because for several hours, they wouldn't even let my chief deputy clerk, who is the acting clerk for Mesa County when I'm absent, would not even let her observe what the Secretary of State and Dominion were doing in my office.
Alone for several hours in the voting room.
Alone. Alone with no one that knew anything about elections watching what they did. But they did do this. After several hours, they allowed my chief deputy to come in and they go, oh, look at this. Look, see, we found this. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did, but I can tell you that I don't trust them. Because I don't trust them, we're going to find out exactly what's going on.
What was the thing on, I thought you said there's something about some passwords that's out in the news.
Oh, yeah.
We need to talk about that passwords that's out in the news, all over the news now.
So I've been accused of passing down or allowing someone to expose our passwords at our elections office. And these just happen to be passwords that only the Secretary of State has. As a matter of fact, when they were in doing this trusted build in my office, they told me that I'm not allowed to have those passwords, that only they are. And so I question that, because we have passwords to get in our system. Why do they have passwords I can't have to get in the back door of my system? Why is that? What do you think? I don't know. That's a question that we need answers to, and we're going to find it.
I don't know if the Colorado Secretary of State knows anything about elections at all. But if she does know anything, she ought to know her own passwords. So up until that point, my understanding is the social media post of the passwords wasn't associated with Mesa County. So the Secretary of State did two things. One, she told the world those are Mesa County administrative passwords or BIOS passwords. And then she asserted that the county clerk might have released them. And she let all the media run with that. But she knows those are her staff's passwords.
And if you think that the left doesn't love stirring the pot, wow. They have been harassed. They've been violently threatened. The Secretary of State of Colorado has opened up Mesa County to incredible reproach throughout the state. The people are concerned for their own well-being now because of these radical actions that the Secretary of State, Jena Griswald, took. She could have called. She could have done something beneath the radar, but that's not what she chose to do. And that's the question, is why? Why are they acting in this manner and drawing all of this attention and even saying criminal charges? They're looking at criminal charges when nothing's been done, has been pointed out here tonight.
And their intimidation, they try to intimidate and bully. I had to send my staff home yesterday. I said, take your laptops and go home. And because the calls were coming in after General Griswald put out a press release, that was the first I'd heard of it. Nobody gave me any warning that there was something wrong or that they felt was wrong. I had to send my staff home because of the hateful outpour from people.
They did a press release?
They did a press release.
Who did that? Secretary of State? Secretary of State's office did a press release. Are you kidding me? You mean the media would go along with this and wouldn't ask you anything? That's what's up with that, huh? The news. Remember what we're fighting for here? We're fighting to get past the fake news and the news that they're using. She came and raided her office on the way here. And I mean, and the news, you know what it'll be? So we'll wait and see, because we're going to call them out like we've been doing all day. This is the hill to stand on, is our First Amendment right of free speech, and getting past the media. They can do anything. People can commit crimes like the Secretary of State probably did. It doesn't seem suspicious. But who can cover up better than the media?
That's right.
I know there are decent reporters. I know there are. I've heard some of them. If you're a journalist, I beg you, stop doing your job for a minute and do your duty.
Yeah, huh? Whoa! Do your duty. Do your duty. That's what we've been talking about. If you're a journalist tonight, maybe you sit and pray about it. Get on your knees and pray about it. You owe your duty to our country.
Ask Clerk Peters. Ask Clerk Peters if the allegations are true before you publish them, and put her staff in jeopardy. And the Secretary of State knew she was doing that and did it anyway. She could have called, she didn't. Ask the Secretary of State whose passwords those are. And if they're not the clerks or her staffs, if they're the Secretary of State's, then ask her, did your staff release the passwords, or are the systems insecure? Which is it?
Colorado